Hey, DIYers. Hey, tonight we got to work on my Bobcat here a little bit. We got some snow and this ram here is leaking. We're going to show you how to get it taken apart, replace the seals in it, and we'll get it back to work again. Hey, let's get started. All right, in order to take this ram out, we got a bolt in the front, bolt in the back. Each of them are 15/16, and then we got the compression nut back here in the back for the actual hydraulic fluid coming in here, and we got that at 11/16. So we get those all taken off there. We're gonna take it out of here, and then we'll take it over to the bench and start taking it apart. So I'll see you over at the bench. All right, to start with, I went ahead and put this thing in a vise so it wasn't gonna turn on me, and I used my big pipe wrench here, since I do not have a spanner wrench. Place it on the end here, nice and easily be able to turn this thing off. Now, you might want to be prepared. This probably still has fluid and stuff in it, so once this comes all the way out, I'm probably going to dump a bunch of fluid out. All right, so it's taken out of there. Here it is laying on the bench. So you can see, right there is a bunch of sediment and stuff that came out of the inside of that. I'm going to make sure that's all drained out of there and everything's all cleaned up. You can see there's a bunch of stuff down here at, oh, my hand's in the way. Down here at that end right there, there's a whole bunch of crap on there. We're going to get that whole thing all cleaned up, cleaned off, and we'll put new seals and everything in it. And that nut there on the end, down at that other end on there, that is 1 1/8. We're using impact on it, take it off, and then we'll be able to slide everything off that end and go from there. Alrighty, so we got the nut off the end. Like I said, it was 1 1/8. Got that one off with the impact. Here's the kit number for what we're using here. It's an HY, I believe that's a 1, no, that is an I, HYI 401042. And I'll put the link down to that deal. I bought it on Amazon. So here's the top piece here. This is the one that we had fluid that was leaking out the end of it up here. There's one seal here, there's one on the top here, and there's a tricky one that's down on the inside of there. So there's 3 on that one, and there's 2 on this one. There's 1 here, and there's another rubber seal on the inside of that one. So I'll start taking these apart, and I'll show you how they go here. So first one here, pretty simple. Just getting the edge of it. We're not saving these for anything, so you don't have to be nice about it. Of course, this O-ring here, this one's a simple one to take off. No big deal. The tricky one is this one inside of here. And once you can try and jam it in there a little bit, yeah, this is what I was afraid of. Here you can just start seeing it, just look at that thing, it's just falling apart as you bring it out. That is our guilty one, and that is the hardest one to get in and out of there, or actually to get out. So once we get this all cleaned up, I'll bring you back, and then I'll show you how to pinch that thing together and get it put back in there. So we'll be right back. All right, like I said, this is the tricky one here. This old one that's here is going to have to go back in, but obviously there's no way it'll just slide right back down in there. It's got to go inside and pop out into place. So what I've had to do is you have to kind of pinch them down, roll it over, and try and get it in there all in one shot. All right, so hopefully I got that. Hopefully you guys can see that. I've kind of curled that thing up. Hopefully you can kind of see that. So I'm going to let it down in here and I got my finger on the back side trying to hold this thing in here to go in. Okay, so there. And you can kind of see it there. You can kind of see it through there, I hope. So once it's into place, you can go on this side. You can see it from this side too. And we can work that back in there, and it just pops right back into place just like that. But it's difficult to, the thing's really, it's a hard seal in there. So we got the new one in there. That's the easier part. And then we can put the ring around the top here. And then this one here, the smaller piece, the smaller side of that O-ring goes in the top. And this one's kind of going the same way. You got to kind of pinch it in there a little bit. Work it in there, make sure it's all sealed around there, and there we go. The top part of that is done. Now the bottom one, there's this kind of beige colored ring that's here, and then right underneath that is the smaller O-ring here. So we're gonna pick at that one. We're gonna get these out of here. And this one usually will break on me getting it out. Yeah, there's broke. Of course, I'm sticking a pick in it. Why wouldn't it break, right? And then inside of here is one that's not as brittle, but it's got a lot more oil on it. Peel that one out of there, set that one to the side. And we're just gonna wipe this off, make sure there's nothing on my hands that got inside of there. Put that one around there. Now this one here, I've noticed on other ones that I've done, as we put it on there, it obviously is not gonna squeeze on there like that. But once you start putting it on, it will stretch out a little bit, and as you let it set and you put it back in, it will seal up. So once you put it back on, it'll feel like it's really loose. And this is usually a difficult one to get on there too, because you kind of stretch it out.
Do you just work your way around it?
Just put your thumbs on it, and hopefully you can kind of see what I'm doing here. But work your way around it. Like I said, this one's not an easy one to do, so I'll work on that one. I'll show you once I get it all put back on there. All right, so get her straightened out in that groove, and we'll be good to go, and we'll get her put back together. Work its way, there it goes. Like I say, it kind of almost looks like it's almost too big for it now, but once you get it put back into the cylinder, everything tightens right up on it, so it'll be good to go. All right, so I went ahead and put this in the vise so we can hold this, so we can put that nut on there, but the cylinder goes back on here. Like I said, that'll be much tighter this time. So once you, there it goes. Work it over a little bit. This is tapered at this end, so it should let it slide right on there. On those bigger cylinders, this does have a sleeve in there. This one goes back on. And like I said, we got new stuff in there, so we can tighten up, put this back on there. And impact it. Alrighty, there we go. Got everything back in here, sleeves back on, everything's tightened up, and we can put this back into the sleeve, get the nut where the spanner wrench is supposed to tighten that on there, and then we can put it back on. Thank you all for joining me on this other episode, and hey, hopefully you can go ahead and get that leak tackled yourself now. So, hey, I'm gonna go get some snow moved outside, so hey, we'll see you guys later. Hit that subscribe button.